Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. All right, less than 24 hours to go. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time as I record this on Sunday, January 19th. All right, sometime around noon Eastern time, 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific time on Monday, January 20th is when the inauguration is scheduled. And Donald Trump would be sworn in as the 47th president, assuming that's going forward. For folks in the comments that are getting a little frustrated saying, just accept that he's getting in there, I'm mostly there. I'm still holding out hope, and of course, where there's hope, there's crushing disappointment when those hopes, wishes, and dreams aren't meant. But that's a David problem for David to deal with. If you've already dealt with it, accepted the fact that Trump's getting in, he gets away with everything, never held accountable for anything, which I'm not touting you. I'm not saying you're wrong. Well, then you're there. So I guess if anything does happen tomorrow, you'll be pleasantly surprised. You know, maybe a little sheepish, like, oh, I shouldn't have doubted you type of thing. But hey, you know, it's all good. It's all good. Something that, and I hate it when I can't remember things, especially as well as I used to. God, my brother and I are both notorious for our memories here. I remember some intuitive somewhere writing down, it all starts in Georgia, or it all begins in Georgia. And I can't remember if that's Linda G or Kim or somebody commented that it all starts in Georgia. And I think for most of us, we've always assumed that that's where the election interference was starting. You can go all the way back to 2020 with Trump calling Georgia, trying to get the votes changed and such. But one other thing caught my eye today, and it was based on a comment I made yesterday, that we had COVID. When COVID brought an end to the Trump administration. Remember Linda G talking about seeing people in masks, and she said that like in September of 2019, at least a month before anything happened in China with it. And Cash Peters doing his pictures and showing waves coming in, the first Trump impeachment and then something else. But then COVID came and he saw some giant wave that he couldn't overcome. In the news today, bird flu found in Georgia commercial flock for first time amid nationwide. I don't know what the last part is there, but basically they have now found bird flu in commercial Georgia chickens. These were roasting chickens, I believe. Tens of thousands of them. And all poultry activities in Georgia have now been suspended because bird flu was confirmed in a commercial production facility. And bird flu is suspected to be impacting geese and other wildlife in Plymouth. Massachusetts town confirms bird flu case in goose at the Billington Sea. As bird flu concerns grow, scientists race to develop new vaccines. U.S. pays almost $600 million to Moderna to speed up development of bird flu vaccine. If Donald Trump is not stopped by the Biden administration before taking office on the 20th, we just may manifest bird flu in this country. Wouldn't that be something else? And H5N1 is the virus name on that one, which is funny because then I get it confused with the H1B visas. I don't know what to make of it, but I want to look at bird flu in the U.S. and if Trump gets in, is this our 2025 version of COVID-19? Will it be another pandemic that is this man's undoing? Because he can't blame the Biden administration for it. He'll do it anyways. He'll say how, all the coffers are empty, blah, 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 blah. But, what's he going to do? So, for entertainment purpose only, maybe nothing is here at all. It's just curious. Okay? Come on down. Let's see. Bird flu. Let's describe the whole bird flu situation going on in the U.S. right now. Ace of Swords. Okay? Take it seriously. This is something... Again, the problem with bird flu is that it's symptoms just like the normal flu in humans. The problem is it's lethal in humans. Way more lethal than the normal flu is. Crossed with the Ace of Pentacles. Sword of truth and justice by a new opportunity. The gate here is that if you didn't learn your lesson the first time, you are going to begin repeating this lesson. Queen of Swords. Your ivermectin BS ain't going to play with bird flu. It didn't work with COVID. It's not going to work with bird flu. You need a vaccine for something like that. In the past, you got it's almost, God, it's like bird flu is waiting. It's waiting in the wings. Depending on how we humans choose how we're going to do things, you've got this thing waiting in the wings ready to pop out. Kind of like how COVID popped out. Current situation is the Six of Wands. It's waiting to see who's going to lead the country. I'm not saying that it's going to only come if Trump's in there and it's going to go away if Biden's in there, but you can bet your bottom dollar that the way Biden handles a pandemic such as bird flu and how Trump would handle a pandemic such as bird flu would be wildly different. Overarching energy is the Fool card. It got this new energy, this new a new era coming in, type of thing, and that new era is: does the U.S. show hubris? I think is the word I want to use there. Are they going to show that we can be impacted too by election fraud and the decisions we make? If you just decide to sweep it under the rug, guess what? Something else may be coming your way. Lesson to be learned is the Page of Swords. Trump didn't know what he was doing the first time. This is almost like, again, as the inauguration goes on, bird flu is expanding. And if the Trump administration gets in there, you think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is going to know how to handle this? Do you think Trump's going to listen to him? If he does this, Mr. Vaccines are bad for you? Oh, that's going to be an interesting one. On the one hand, the vaccines work. On the other hand, there's a bunch of people that like RFK's message that we shouldn't be taking vaccines. Those woke vaccines. Outcome is the World card. I don't know if bird flu would become a worldwide pandemic. It's possible. It could also be bringing a finality to Trump and his team, especially if they botch this. The term that comes to mind is dereliction of duty. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, people's free will choices are going to impact this. I do think that if Trump gets in, we will have a bird flu pandemic. If Biden or Harris, for some reason, maintain control of the government, we may get it, we may not. We may dodge that bullet. So let's just ask. If Donald Trump is inaugurated as the 47th president and he takes over in the White House, will we have another pandemic, such as, in this case, bird flu, to challenge him and his administration? Because, remember, life is about lessons and learning from lessons. It doesn't appear that Donald Trump learned anything from the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, what happens if we get a bird flu pandemic? I'm not rooting for this, by the way, but it's just letting history repeat itself or rhyme with itself is, I guess, where we're going with it here. If Donald Trump is in, will we have another pandemic? Maybe with bird flu. The star card. The best of America, the best of the United States. I'm going to do a 4-carder on this one. Yeah, it's that choice. It's that choice. Messaging about health, learning from previous experiences, having a plan. It basically says, are we going to have it if he gets in there? Yeah, possibly. It's going to depend on situations. Here's the thing. If he gets in, is he going to take steps to take care of the country? Is he going to take steps to quarantine things? Is there going to be a plan in place? What decisions are you going to make? Are they decisions based in wisdom? Now, as I describe that, do any of those things sound like Donald Trump to you? Don't sound like him to me. Planning? Learning from your mistakes? Coming up with doing something for the betterment of the country over one's personal enrichment? I guess in the end of the day, we may have another pandemic in the form of bird flu. And if you have Donald Trump in charge, it's going to be early days of COVID all over again. Except that there is no President Biden coming in just as the vaccines are being developed to implement the distribution. Because remember, Trump and his team, they decided that they weren't going to do the implementation. They wanted Biden to fail. So they made no plans to distribute vaccines. They were basically, I think their idea was put them on cargo planes for the Air Force and parachute them out and literally drop ship them onto the steps of the state capitals and let them figure it out. I'm being facetious, but I'm probably closer to being accurate with that facetiousness than them actually having a boots on the ground plan for how you would distribute it. Because they didn't want to. It's like, oh, well, this is going to be Biden's problem, not my problem, so let him solve it. And they did. Despite the ivermectin crowd and the bleach crowd and the vitamins crowd and the blood of Jesus crowd and what am I missing? What panaceas am I missing here that these idiots were doing or not doing to protect themselves from this virus? Here we go again. Okay, so buckle up. We may not be out of the woods yet as far as this goes. And again, this might be just something that we're manifesting, especially if Trump gets in there again, because it worked. COVID worked the first time. Maybe another pandemic will work a second time. We'll see. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.